Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Play Cities Skylines and Modded Series. This is the Riverrun map and we're playing in NEZO City. This is episode 72. I had to double check. I hope you liked the previous episode. What did we do in our previous episode? We plotted down some bus lines. And what we're going to be working on this week, or this third day actually, this half week, we're going to pop some more houses and zone some more areas, especially around the coastline. Do you like the recent playthrough of Surviving Mars? We're kicking off that gameplay with the first tutorial and then playing an actual map which has a certain difficulty. I'll probably post it in the description. Anyway, I wanted to do something different today. We're going to do instead of a all-inclusive, time lapse that I usually do in Cities Skylines, I'm not gonna do that today. We're gonna do this soft or slow-paced gameplay. Should help people who have motion sickness. I did mention I did have motion sickness when I was younger, but I somehow grew out of it in my later years. So what we're doing right now, as we're slowly turning on services along the coastline, and because this is property on the coastline, this kind of property already by default has some high value because it's near the coast, right? What would make it even more high value is if there's some leisure activity in this area. So this is me playing the game in normal speed, and then there's the time lapse of the houses growing. But yes, I deliberately play this slow because when I do time lapse, it doesn't, so that it doesn't go so crazy. I'm also the kind of person that does things deliberately or take my time to do so anyway. So this area, I won't put a lot of houses here. I'm not going to make it densely populated. I decided to make it low density. I don't want it to have so much traffic that it's going to be hard to traverse around. So that's why I'm doing these spaced out, and now the houses are the low variety. I'm really enjoying these kind of time lapses where you watch the houses grow. I like games like that show the progression of things from start to finish. I'm somebody who does do it yourself, right? And it feels kind of good looking at things that start from nothing and then end up something great. Speaking of which, I did have an issue with the PC that I built. Remember that streaming PC? It took 3 years for me to make. It's overheating. I think I may have not put thermal paste on one of the GPUs. So it's a GTX 690. It was lent by the community, and because it's a funny sounding card with a humorous kind of name. By the way, it's NVIDIA's one of the last dual core GPUs. They did announce that they were going to make another one, but I'm not sure which model that would be. Yes, when it first came out, the GTX 690, it's like $1,000 or something like that. I don't know how community got me one, but it was a nice surprise. It definitely helped offload the processing power when I did stream, because a dual core card is something that is pretty good. I mean, the CUDA cores, it's got 1072 CUDA cores, and when at the time OBS started supporting NVIDIA encodec, NEVNC codec, so it utilized the CUDA cores to help encode video for when I streamed. And because I had such a low bit rate, it sort of became like a crutch for compressing my video, which, by the way, is very high process intensive. I didn't do much YouTube back then, but I noticed if I do render something with this card, it's nice. Well, for the time that I was able to, there's definitely an overheating problem. So one of the cores, leftmost core where the intake goes in, is 54 degrees Celsius, and the second core is 36. CPU is at 34. So I know that my water cooling stuff is working. There's no leaks. It's just there's something wrong with the contact of that GPU. So I'm going to have to drain it. The next Tinker Tuesday, that's probably what I'm going to do. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. I notice a lot of people are liking the playlist. Most people watch at night to help them sleep, I guess. I have that kind of voice that's on the same wavelength as the delta wave, which I guess is responsible for sleeping. And I'm glad to do my part, I guess. So if you notice that technique I use, if I put a industry in between where there's noise, it serves as a buffer. For some reason, it blocks noise because of it, I guess, of what it's composed of as a building, or it's just a natural effect from being like that. So here we are reconnecting the electric poles. I somehow drew a blank on what to call these. It looks pretty good. So avenues, I stick with the rule. For avenues, I only put commercial on there instead of anything that would cause unneeded traffic, like residential. You know how in real life you have corner stores and things like that. The avenues are able to handle traffic. So if somebody were to want to stop, they'll just make a right turn or left turn into where the store is and then do their thing, right? Or if they want to go further down the road where they live, that's how it usually is. Beyond the store on the other side would be a residential. So this is the the passenger train. Notice it's getting quite a bit of good use. It's probably the only way people can get from the north side to the college. Boyne College is in that island right there. And right here, we have a bunch of things for the oil industry. We already have a main building for the oil industry, but we need to expand it a little bit. So that's what we're going to do the next episode. The thing about this, the slow paced kind of thing, it seems a little slow paced. I don't know if it's because I'm normally seeing a time lapse, but it'll get some taking used to. I find myself trying to fill the gaps of what I'm going to talk about because I'm looking at the feed and explaining what's going on. This was the first industry, first major industry kind of place that I made with the freight rail system. By the way, there is like an equation, or there is a bunch of requirements for the 5 level or the highest level of industry. It requires that you have a cargo train terminal or something like of that matter to be able to have the 3rd tier. I think it's 5 tiers for a normal industry, but if you want that highest tier, that tier has the least pollution, has the most output as far as production and as far as how much people earn. There's a lot of red here, trying to get the traffic up to 90%, but because I always tend to focus on solving traffic for a number of episodes, I try to build on and then keep in mind that I want to minimize traffic, so that's what I wanted to do. Here we have an academic year report of the students that this year we added a couple of students, and of course the research for the research grant that we donated was $50,000 to do research on particular things. Makes an interesting story, right? Here we are. I really want to improve this college, but it looks like gonna have to do a bunch of more things. We need more students. If anybody knows how to get more students into your city, please feel free to chime below in the comments. I decided not to hide any more comments, or at least if they're appropriate. So if you do want to comment, don't be afraid to drop a note. I read all of them, even the weird ones, but I don't always respond. I hid them for a while because it felt like there was this one group of people that weren't that positive in regards to the channel, and it always seemed like the same kind of thing. But anyway, we're not gonna get into that. I will see you guys in the next episode, and I'll see you in Surviving Mars. If you liked what you see, please like the channel, and I'll know for the future to make more videos like this. Also, you can subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you when I post the next video. I update every 3 days. This is John Nezodam signing out. Take care, stay safe. Remember, you're essential.